wanna be down with the king.
It's the Sports Kings. Sports Kings. Big Mike.
He might fall off the wagon in the next 10 minutes.
Rob Calloway.
It's about bringing talent. It's not about all the flash and glitz and glam.
Not your average sports talk show. The Sports Kings.
This is NFL legend, Work Done.
This your boy D. Howard, a.k.a. Superman.
I'm Jerome Bettis, the Bus.
It's Cam Newton. Holla at your boy, already.
This is Hank Aaron, and I'm down with the King.
Tell a friend, Kings is back.
Hour number 2 on this Tuesday inside the Sports Kingdom. This is the Sports Kings podcast. I am Big Mike alongside my partner, Rob Calloway. We're being heard via Spreaker.com. Which you can tell a friend to check us out. You can stream it, download it via your Android or your iPhone or your PC or your Mac. Plenty of opportunities to check this great, and I use the word loosely, podcast out. You can also reach out to us, and we also send the links out via our Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. They're all three the same, at Sports Kings Live. You can holler at us on email. We need to get some emails popping, y'all. Send us some stuff. You know, I like a little written debate with people sometimes. And you know what we're going to start doing too? Like once we get everything, up and going, we're going to do like an email segment where we, read off your emails based on, things that we've talked about and your reaction to some of the things you've heard us say on the podcast. We're going to do all that kind of stuff. And then we'll get it sponsored and we'll do it like a real show at some point. Anyway, last hour, did a lot on the NBA, especially the Atlanta Hawks here and their recent struggles as at one point in time, they were the number 1 overall seed in the NBA. At this point, they've let that position slip. Still in strong position going into the playoffs, but a little bit worrisome as they've given up three straight losses for the first time this year. This is really not the point in time of the season that you want to do that in, but they're in good hands with Coach Bud, I believe, and they're going to get things straightened out and figure out what ails them and get some guys healthy and move on and hopefully make a long playoff run, especially hopefully for the people here in Atlanta is what I mean. Moving on, told you guys yesterday, right? First of all, this is something that I had here in my notes from the other day, and it's a real little thing as far as the Major League Baseball goes, but it's another attempt at Major League Baseball and their new commissioner, Rob Manfred, to try to generate some more excitement in this long-ass 162-game season. The newest implementation of planned excitement is every game. No, 2 Chainz will not be there as far as I know. But the final game, all final games of the Major League Baseball season will all start at 3 p.m. They will all be played at the exact same time. So there will be no one who...
You said the weekend games?
The very last game, the final day of the season.
The very last game.
Yes.
Okay.
All of them will start at 3 p.m. Today, I caught a couple innings of the Braves today. I meant to do it the other day while I was flipping through the guide. I saw, MLB, exhibition Braves versus whoever it was, the Yankees, I believe it was. And I think I did stop, but it was on commercial. So that ended that whole dream and kept moving and probably started watching Modern Family or something. Anyway, I didn't catch it the other day, but today I was sitting here and ESPN had the Braves on against the Phillies. And, I've been reading some stuff about the Braves, trying to get myself ready. Opening day is in like a week or two, like the 6th, I think, or something like that.
2 weeks.
April 6th. So I'm trying to get myself kind of in some sort of baseball frame of mind. Like, here's the thing. You're not going to hear a lot of baseball talk. Like, if Rob comes to the table and he's like, Mike, I got this wonderful baseball stuff I want to talk about. By all means, we'll talk about it. But as far as I go, me and baseball got this kind of like crazy, like not really constructive relationship because every time I try to be friends with baseball, he do something stupid, and I got to leave him alone. And it happened again today. So I'm watching the game, right? And some young kid is trying to make the ball team, the pitcher, right? He's trying to, cement himself as a part of the rotation. He got the start today. And what happened was he got a couple questionable calls from the umpire, right? And he gave the umpire a little look. Like, hold on, man, what the hell? Those look like good balls, good strikes. And then the inning goes on. He ends up walking the pitcher. He ends up giving up a single. And eventually, I think the next inning, he gave up back-to-back home runs to Dwight Howard. Not Dwight Howard. What's that kid's name?
Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard, yes. Another big black gentleman who plays a different sport, though. Yeah, Ryan Howard, and the guy who came up after him. I think his name was Roan or something like that. Okay, now, here's what baseball did to me this time. So Tim Kirchin and the boys are doing the broadcast. And Tim Kirchin says, the lesson to be learned today is you don't give that umpire, whatever his name was, a bad look, because then when it's time for you to get those borderline calls, he won't give them to you. Hold the hell on.
That's bull.
Do your damn job. Who gives a damn how somebody do your damn job? Yeah, I'm good. Bye again. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that, B. Like all that foolishness about, if a dude hits a home run and flips the bat, now you got to hit him with the ball next time. No, do your damn job. Make sure he don't hit no home run. Make a better pitch, a-hole. Like, it's so ridiculous and childish. Like, you can't stare at your home run. Look, I hit it. I do what I want to with it. It's so like every time, man, I try to say, all right, man, Mike, you talk about sports, man. This is what you chose to do. Baseball is a sport. Get involved. I try, man. I try, but every time, he do something stupid.
That's the one thing that I don't like about baseball. And, for those that have never listened to us, I mean, I'm a big baseball fan. And the one thing that has always bothered me about baseball is that the home plate umpire, the strike zone is really at his discretion.
Yeah, all this stuff should be computerized. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
If you watch sports science, scientifically, your eyes can't see a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yep.
The human eye can't see it. So these dudes are guessing. They're anticipating and guessing. Get the hell out of here. I'm good. Good God almighty. I'm sorry. I wanted to, man. I wanted to watch the Braves because the Braves, if you don't pay attention to baseball, or if because baseball is kind of like a regional now and like a localized sport, down here in Atlanta, there's been some turnover. You know what I mean? Guys have changed their names and all kind of stuff. So, some of the guys that are left, the Andrew Simmons of the world, the Freddie Freemans of the world, the guys we know are still there, but then they got a couple new faces around. So I want to kind of get myself acclimated. Christian Bethancourt is still here. I want to get acclimated to who the new faces are. So I want to look at some of this stuff, but I can't handle the foolishness. I can't do that. It's just ridiculous to me, which leads me to exactly what I wanted to talk to you guys about yesterday. Because every chance I get, this old pure sport, and we do it the right way, and it's a right way to play baseball. No, I used to get into these arguments with a dude I worked with all the time about it. He's a big baseball, he's like gay for baseball, right? So, today, I told you guys yesterday before I got off the air, your homework was to just look up Hector Olivera, right? Now, I didn't know what was going to happen today was going to happen, but I always love to do that. I always love to be ahead of things before they happen. So it's not like I'm the ESPN of internet broadcasting where everything happens and then I react to it and I try to tell you how to react to it. No, I try to hit it off first. And by the way, this is what I was reading about while I was in church on Sunday. So this is how you guys know it must be good. Hector Olivera, the latest of Cuban defection to the United States of America to play this wonderful game of baseball. He signs a $62.5 million deal for 6 years with the L.A. Dodgers. So him and one of my favorite guys, Yasiel Puig, will be out in L.A. together with a bunch of that Latin flair. $28 million signing bonus. He said, okay, Mike, what's the big deal about that? So what? Baseball is full of Hispanics. It's a little bit different with this one. And I mentioned this to Rob maybe about a week ago, and his reaction told it all. Rob was like, I never thought about that. Most people haven't. You may be asking yourself, what is that? That is the fact that baseball, Major League Baseball, MLB, is 100% complicit in human trafficking. Okay, I'll wait for you to pick your jaw up off the ground, but it's true. Now, how this came to my mind was last year, speaking of Yasiel Puig, I read his story. And I'm reading the story, and everyone's talking about Yasiel Puig's story. And if you haven't read it, I'm not going to go through each and every detail because we only got an hour to do this, and we're not going to do this for a whole hour. So go to your internet machine, to your www. portal, and Google Yasiel Puig and his defection story. It is bananas. It's one of those things that if you weren't sure that it really happened, you'd think somebody made it up, but it actually happened. For him to get from Cuba to here, and the type of people he had to deal with that got him here. But my point in bringing that up is the fact that people, the article I wrote said the 10 degrees of separation. There aren't 10 degrees of separation. There's one. There's the smugglers who are a lot of times cartel members, the drug cartel that everyone always talks about, bringing the weed and the guns and all that kind of stuff and taking people hostage down in South America. Those guys, the bad guys. There's them, then there's the agent, and then there's the scout for the team. Yeah, I'm not a mathematician, but that's kind of 1 degree of separation. There's 1 degree of separation between a freaking $2 billion organization, the LA Dodgers, for example, in this case, and the drug lords. What? How is no one talking about this? How is this? How is all of this go? I'm trying to find this kid's story, right? I'm trying to find his defection story. The best I could do. No, it wasn't even him. Sorry, because there's other article I read there about Juan Abreu, the dude that just came in. Oh, excuse me, Jose Abreu, the Chicago White Sox player. He is the previous to this guy, to Olivero. Previous to him, he defected. And there was this article about him. Now, here's the other thing about this article. Very few details about the actual defection. It's all about him as a player and how he's so big and strong and how he just took the league by storm and won the Rookie of the Year and all this kind of stuff. But when it came to how'd you get here? Crickets. Who brought you here? Definitely crickets. He ain't talking about none of those people because those are the people who will kill you. And if you ask me if I'm being hyperbolic, I'm not. People have died. These people have killed people. Literally. They've threatened Yasiel Puig for money. Showed in spring training, just showed up at his hotel room yeah, dog, we're going to need that money. And when we talk about money, let me explain to you the process on how someone properly, as far as monetarily, defects from Cuba. There are rules to this. Now, let me see if I feel like taking the time out to find this article. Here's the thing. The main rule is you have to establish residence in another country first. You can't go from Cuba to America for whatever reason. I think it's because of the trade embargoes that have been longstanding for so long with Cuba, but you can't do that. You have to establish one residency in another country. A lot of times it's Mexico or sometimes it's Haiti. And then you have to cross the border to America on foot. You have to physically cross the border. You can't from Haiti to Miami or whatnot. That's why most people Yasiel Puig came through Mexico. When you come through, they arrest you, they process you, they understand where you're from, and then you fit through this loophole. Now, the reason that's important for Major League Baseball, here's why. Because these people are considered, in the article, it considers them the true free agents. These are true free agents, where they're able to sign anywhere. Had they come over in any other way, they would have to enter the draft. Now, the monetary difference, again, this kid just signed a $68 million deal. And it's baseball money, cuz this ain't football money. $68 million deal. If he were to be drafted, let's say in the top 10, we're talking maybe $6 million. So you understand the difference in the money and how you get here. That's why these people take such a risk. You read this Jose Abreu story, please, I implore you to go look it up. And it's a long read, but it's a good read. And it talks about him and his mom and his dad. This dude had to leave his son. His son is 2 years old. You can't put no 2-year-old through the stuff this dude had to go through to get to America.
Right.
You just can't. So his son is still in Cuba.